are present both in plant cell and animal cell. Today we will talk about the difference between a plant cell and an animal cell, and again by explaining this topic I will give you a short recap of our previous topic also. So here now I am going to draw the plant cell and animal cell. One by one I will tell you the difference of plant cell and animal cell, and along with that again I will explain you the structure and function of the cell organisms. So if you all remember, what do you mean by a cell? Why cell? What is the need of cell in living organism? Cell is the basic structural and functional unit of a living organism. As I said, what do you mean by structural and functional? Means all the body of the living organism, including plants and animals, the basic constituents or the primary constituent of the body of a living organism is a cell. So here we can say that, just a small recap I am giving. Cells, this is the primary constituent of a living body. Okay, these cells, there are number of cells in a living body. These cells, they will combine to form tissue. Okay, this chapter, tissue chapter is there in your next class. So tissue combines to form organs. Tissues, they combine to form organs. Organs like we can say heart, kidney, stomach, eye, hand, ear. These all are one organ of ours. And these organs combines to form organ system. Organ system. Like if you will talk about digestive system, here after this chapter only we will talk about digestive system. So if you will talk about, just an example I am giving, if you will talk about digestive system, then what are the organ system of digestive system? It will start with your mouth, to food pipe, then to stomach, then to small intestine, large intestine and anus. Okay, this is the total organs involved in the digestive system. So these organs like mouth, tongue, teeth, food cavity, then stomach, intestine and anus. These one organ combinedly they form an organ system. Okay, and the whole organ system, we can also talk about circulatory system. There we will talk about heart. We can also talk about respiratory system. So there are so many systems present, organ system present in our body. Do not worry, one by one about all organ system you will read in your higher class. So here the all organ system combines to form an what organism? All organ systems, they are combined to form an organism. So this is what our life process is. Our life starts, not only animals, about plants also I am telling. Here I am telling about the living organisms. All the living organisms, they start their life with cell. And here we are talking about multicellular organism. In single cellular organisms, they got only a single cell. Need not to talk about tissue, organ and all. Because two cells, more than two cells, if they will combine, then only they will form tissue. Means in unicellular organisms, they got only single cell and they do not go to the tissue level. They will complete their life in cell form only. But in multicellular organisms, number of cells in our body, number of cells are present. Millions and millions of cells are present. If you will take a small portion of plant also, it contains millions of cells. So that number of cells, they combine to form tissue. About tissue we will read in the next class. So that tissues combines to form organs. Organs combines to form organ system, and organ systems combines to form an organism. So this is the basis of life. So here at first we got to know about the cell. Okay, here we have to know about the cell at first, then only we can put the tissue, organ system and organism. So here as you are starting your basic concept of biology, at first we will start with cell and later on gradually in your next classes you will read about tissue, organ system and organism. So as here we are discussing about cell. Here we will compare the two living cells. What are the two living cells? Either that may be a plant cell or maybe an animal cell. So here we will compare the plant cell and the animal cell, and then we will see the difference of plant and animal cell one by one. So let's start the topic. Here I am going to show you the difference between the plant cell and animal cell. So here I am writing the plant cell, and this side I am drawing the animal cell. Okay, so here let us start with the difference between the plant cell and animal cell, and there simultaneously I will go on telling about the different cell organelles of plant cell and animal cell. So if you will talk about a plant cell, we can see it got a particular shape. We can also call it as hexagonal in shape. But if you will talk about an animal cell, generally animal cells are irregular in shape. Animal cells do not have a particular shape. Why? Just I will tell you. This is the first difference we can write here. Plant cell has or plant cell got a particular shape, but animal cell do not have a particular shape. Then let's talk about the different parts of the cell. Remember the first difference? One by one difference. Go on writing. The first difference I said, plant cell has a particular shape, but animal cells do not have a particular shape. Then if we will talk about the important part of cell, at first let us write the cell membrane. Cell membrane is the outermost layer of a cell. This is also the cell membrane of animal cell, and this is the cell membrane of plant cell. Cell membrane is present both in plant cell and animal cell. Cell membrane can also be called as plasma membrane. Okay, we can also call cell membrane as plasma membrane. So, cell membrane, what is the work of cell membrane? Cell membrane surrounds a cell. Okay, cell membrane protects the cell. Okay, it gives protection to the cell, and inside the cell membrane only there are so many organelles present inside the cell membrane that we will talk one by one. So here at first, number one, what we are talking about? Cell membrane or plasma membrane. Cell membrane or plasma membrane is present both in plant and animal cell, and the function is to give protection. Okay, so we will not write it in differentiating part because cell membrane is present both in plant cell and in animal cell. But additional to cell membrane, plant cell contains another layer over cell membrane. We call it as cell wall. Along with cell membrane, a plant cell has an additional layer over the cell membrane. We call it as cell wall. But animal cells do not have cell wall. Note down the second difference. Okay, plant cell have a cell wall, but animal cells do not have a cell wall. This is the second difference between plant cell and animal cell. So as plant cell have a cell wall, that's why the shape of plant cell is distinct. So what is the work of cell wall? Cell wall gives a shape to the plant cell. Cell wall is generally tough in nature. It is generally rigid in nature. That's why it provides rigidity to the cell. It provides, protection to the cell. So externally the cell membrane of plant cell is surrounded by a tough layer. We call it a cell wall. But cell wall is absent in case of animal. This is the second difference you can write. Plant cell have cell wall, but animal cells do not have cell wall. And the third difference with this you can write. Okay, already we have written the difference I think. At first we have written plant cell has a definite shape, but animal cell do not have a definite shape. Second difference, plant cell is surrounded by a cell wall, but animal cell do not have a cell wall. Okay, this is about the second difference. Later on we will talk about the third difference. So if we will talk about the constituent of cell wall, what is the cell wall made up of? Do you know? Cell wall is made up of cellulose. Remember, this is not in your book, but for your knowledge I am telling. The cell wall of plant cell is made up of cellulose. And do you know what is the constituent of cell membrane? Cell membrane is consist of lipids and proteins. Okay, this is for your additional knowledge only I am saying. Okay, so this is all about cell membrane and cell wall. Next to cell membrane, inside the cell, we can see the fluid content, a white jelly-like content inside the cell. Okay, this content is called what? This is called cytoplasm. Cytoplasm is present just below the cell membrane or plasma membrane. It is a white jelly-like structure. And what is the main function of cytoplasm? The main function of cytoplasm is that it holds all other cell organelles. Okay, organelles means, see, organ, and inside the organ whatever are present we call it as organelles. Okay, organelles means the tiny structure that are floating inside the cytoplasm. We will discuss about that. So this is the cytoplasm, that is transparent white in color and that holds all other cell organelles with it. So need not write the difference. Cytoplasm is present both in plant cell and also in animal cell. Now let us talk about the third most important thing, that is about the nucleus. Here I am drawing the nucleus in plant cell. While I am drawing, you go on thinking the next difference. I hope you all are there with your pen and copy so that you are noting down the difference. Okay, here I have done the nucleus for plant cell. Okay, and here I will do the nucleus for animal cell. Already we have discussed that nucleus is the brain of a cell. It is the most important thing of a cell or most important part of a cell. So here I have done the nucleus for animal cell. Here let me write nucleus. Okay. So this is the nucleus of plant cell and this is the nucleus of animal cell. Can you all find the difference? Yes. The difference is that animal cell got the nucleus in the central position, but plant cell got the nucleus towards the marginal position. Can you see here the position of nucleus in plant cell and here the position of nucleus in animal cell? In animal cell, nucleus is present at center, but in plant cell, nucleus is present towards the cell membrane. Means we can write that nucleus is present towards the marginal position, towards the margin. Okay, towards the cell membrane. Here you can note down the third difference. Okay, in animal cell nucleus is present at center and in plant cell nucleus is present towards the margin. So here let us talk about the different contents of the nucleus. The layer, you can see this layer of nucleus. These are the nuclear membrane. As we have talked about cell membrane surrounds a cell. The same, a nuclear membrane surrounds a nucleus. So plant cell also got nuclear membrane. Nuclear membrane and animal cell also got nuclear membrane. And in between the nuclear membrane you can find small pores over here, small gaps over there. You can find? Yes. That pore or that gap is called nuclear pore. Nuclear pore. Inside the nucleus, we got some fluid-like substance. We call it as nucleoplasm. nucleoplasm. As that of cytoplasm, cytoplasm is the jelly-like substance present inside the cell. Nucleoplasm is the jelly-like substance present inside the nucleus. And you can find here the thread-like structures. These thread-like structures are called chromatin. Here I am writing. These thread-like structures are called chromatin. Animal cell also got chromatin. Okay. And you can find a small body over here. Tell me what it is we have discussed in the video. Nucleolus. Nucleolus. So nucleolus is present both in plant cell and animal cell. So nucleus is a very important topic. Remember, what all are the things we had discussed about nucleus? Nuclear membrane which surrounds the nucleus. Nuclear membrane contains small pores over its surface. We call it as nuclear pore. What is the work of nuclear pore? Nuclear pore exchanges the protein in between the nucleus, inside the nucleus and cytoplasm. Or else we can say nuclear membrane exchanges the protein or exchanges the substances between the nuclear plasm and cytoplasm. Remember, what is the function of nuclear pore? It exchanges the substances between the nucleoplasm and cytoplasm. And inside the nucleus we got a fluid content that is called nucleoplasm. And in nucleoplasm a small rounded structure is present which is called nucleolus. Nucleolus generally synthesize ribosome. Ribosome is another cell organelle. We will read about that. And it got a thread-like structure. You can see the tangles thread-like structures. These thread-like structures are called chromatin. These thread-like structures are called chromatin. Chromatins are the thread-like structure, tangles thread-like structure present inside the nucleus. And when a cell divides, okay, when we grow, how we are growing? We are growing by height, we are growing by our health. How we are growing? Due to the division of our cell. One small example I am giving. When you got a minor cut over your hand or leg somewhere else, so after some days you can find the wound over there will heal gradually. The wound will gradually fill up by small cells. How it is? It is due to cell division. By cell division only new cells are formed. So during cell division, these chromatins they will convert into chromosomes. Okay? And if you will see the detailed structure of chromatin, a chromatin contains DNA. DNA, the full form of DNA is deoxyribonucleic acid. Need not worry, this topic you will have in your higher class. So DNA contains gene. Okay? DNA contains one substance, we call it as gene. And gene is the bearer of hereditary character. What do you mean by hereditary character? Hereditary character means the character that transfers from parents to offspring. Here I am mentioning one word, offspring. Offspring. So in your book also you will get this word offspring. Offspring means child, parents to child. So we are the offspring of our parents. Okay. So the character which are transmitted from the parents to the offspring are called hereditary character. When a newborn baby is formed inside a mother womb, it bears the characters of both the father and mother. How? Because of the gene. Gene carries the character of father and mother to the baby. Okay? So our father have the characters of their parents. Their parents have the characters of their parents. So this is the generation. So gene is the bearer of hereditary character. Means it bears the characters from generation to generation. That's why nucleus is a very important thing which is present inside a cell. Okay? So we can also say that nucleus is the brain of cell. And remember one important thing I am saying here. Nucleus, if a cell do not contain a nucleus, then we can say the cell is dead. A cell without nucleus is termed as dead. So when we can say a cell as a living cell? When it contains a nucleus. Okay? So this is all about nucleus. Next, move on to the other cell organelles. So here we have already talked about the three main parts of a cell. What are the three main parts? Cell membrane or plasma membrane, cytoplasm and nucleus. Okay. Now let us talk about some other cell organelles which are floating in the cytoplasm. Okay. And here we got three differences also. I hope you all have written the differences. Now let us start with the cell organelles. That is the first one. Let us start with the endoplasmic reticulum. Endoplasmic reticulum is the folded structure. Okay, I can draw here the endoplasmic reticulum. It is the folded structure present both in plant cell and in animal cell. Okay, you can see here endoplasmic reticulum is the folded structure present both in plant cell and animal cell. It is having so many foldings over its surface. It is in the animal cell and in plant cell also I am drawing. These are the endoplasmic reticulum. So you can find here the endoplasmic reticulum starts from the nuclear membrane and it extends up to the cell membrane. Okay, endoplasmic reticulum starts from the nuclear membrane and it ends with the cell membrane. So here you can see in animal cell also it is starting from the nuclear membrane and ending with the cell membrane, and in plant cell also it is starting with the nuclear membrane and ending with the cell membrane. So this is all about endoplasmic reticulum. So what is the main function of endoplasmic reticulum? To transfer substances or to transfer materials from cell to cell. Okay, it transfer materials. Suppose here another cell is present. It transfer material from cell to cell. Okay, it transfer materials from one cell to another cell. And it also bears ribosome. Here one important thing I am saying. These endoplasmic reticulum also bears ribosome. Ribosome is another cell organelle. Now I will talk about that. Okay. So these are the ribosomes which are attached to the endoplasmic reticulum. Ribosomes which are attached to the endoplasmic reticulum. And you can see some of the endoplasmic reticulum, some of the portion of the endoplasmic reticulum. Here this side also it is present. Like this also we can do. In some of the portion of the endoplasmic reticulum, ribosomes are not attached. So the portion of endoplasmic reticulum or the type of endoplasmic reticulum where the ribosomes are attached, we call that type of endoplasmic reticulum as rough endoplasmic reticulum. R-E-R I am writing. Okay? What? Rough endoplasmic reticulum. And the type of endoplasmic reticulum where the ribosomes are not present, or else from here I'm drawing. Wait a minute. Okay, this one will do. The type of endoplasmic reticulum where the ribosomes are not present, we call it as SER, smooth endoplasmic reticulum. So smooth endoplasmic reticulums are the endoplasmic reticulum which do not contain ribosome, but rough endoplasmic reticulums contains ribosome with that. So need not write any difference because it is present both in plant cell and in animal cell, and function already we have discussed. So this is about an endoplasmic reticulum. Let us talk about mitochondria. Mitochondria is also present both in plant cell and in animal cell. You can see here mitochondria got two layers. One is the smooth layer, one is the rough layer or the folding layer. Here also we can see in animal cell mitochondria is present both in plant cell and animal cell, and you can see there are so many foldings present in the inner layer of mitochondria. So these foldings are called cristae. So here I am writing what is this? Mitochondria. This is the mitochondria present both in plant cell and in animal cell. You can see the inside membrane of mitochondria contains contains so many foldings, and these foldings are called cristae. Okay, the name of these foldings is cristae. So what is the main work of mitochondria? Mitochondria is the powerhouse of energy. It stores energy in the form of ATP. What is ATP? ATP is the energy particle. We will read details in higher class. Adenosine triphosphate. Okay, so ATP are stored in the mitochondria, and whenever our body requires, mitochondria only supplies energy. When we need energy, when we are doing a strong physical activity, or when we are doing work continuously, so that time we need energy. And who provides energy to our body? The mitochondria, because mitochondria stores energy in the form of ATP. So mitochondria is the storehouse or powerhouse of energy. In the short question I will ask, DEX is the powerhouse of energy, mitochondria. Okay, so this one also need not to write a difference. Next, lysosome. Lysosome. This is lysosome. You can see here, I have not done lysosome in plant cell because lysosome is absent in plant cell. This one you can write in the difference. Fourth difference, lysosome is present in animal cell, but it is not present in plant cell. So what is the work of lysosome? Lysosome is also known as suicide bag. Okay, very interesting thing. Lysosome is also known as suicide bag. Why it is known as suicide bag? Means all the substances. See, lysosome actually provides a defense or protection to our body. So whenever any bacteria or virus enters to our body, they are taken or they are angered, they are swallowed by lysosome. Lysosome will take that bacteria and virus, and they will destroy that bacteria and viruses. How? They contains a digestive enzyme. Okay, they contain a substance that is called digestive enzyme, and by the help of digestive enzyme, they will degrade or they will break down the bacteria and virus so that they cannot affect our body. Okay, so this is the main work of lysosome, and it also sometimes contains proteins in it, and when our body needed, it provides proteins to our body. So lysosome is generally known as suicide bag. It is also one short question. DEX is the suicide bag of a cell, lysosome. Okay, and here you got your fourth difference, that is lysosome is not present in plant cell, rather it is present only in animals. Next, let us talk about little bit here and just here, let us talk about the third structure, that is the vacuole. Okay, vacuole is very large in plant cell, whereas it is small in animal cell. Here, vacuole. Vacuole is large. Plant cell got a large vacuole, and animal cell, if vacuole is present, in some animal cell vacuole is absent also. So if it is present, it is very small. You got here your fifth difference. What? In animal cell the vacuole is very large. In plant cell the vacuole is very large, and in animal cell if the vacuole is present, then it is very small. Okay, it is the fifth difference you got. So here, what is the function of vacuole? Vacuole helps in the storage of food and water. As we know, plants are autotrophs, means they can prepare their food by their own. That's why they need something to store also. So they store their food materials in the vacuole. But animals do not have to store foods. Okay, because they are not producing food. They need not to store the food inside their cell. They got some other organs for the storage of food. Okay, so this is about vacuole. Vacuole is large in plant cell, but it is very small in animal cell. And here I am showing you one interesting thing. At the first I have discussed that nucleus is present towards the margin in plant cell, and in animal cell nucleus is present at the center. Why? Because here in plant cell the vacuole is so large same. But in animal cell, no such large vacuole is present. These all are your GK question also. Just remember these all things. Why in plant cells nucleus is present towards the marginal side? Due to the presence of large vacuole. Okay, but that kind of large vacuole is not present in animal cell. That's why nucleus is at center. Okay, so this is all about vacuole. Next, the next cell organelle we can see centromere or centrosome. Not centromere, sorry, centrosome. Centrosome. So you can see there are two centrosomes present, just right angle to each other, and centrosome. Centrosome is absent in plant cell. Sixth difference you got. Centrosome is absent in plant cell and it is present in animal cell. So centrosome helps during cell division. Just only remember that. What is the function of centrosome? It helps the cell during cell division. This is the main function of centrosome. And centrosome has two bodies and they are called centrioles. Okay, one body. So this is one centriole and this is one centriole. Here I am just sticking it. This is one centriole and this is one centriole. These two centrioles, they are combined to form the centrosome. Okay, and centrosome helps the cell during cell division. Centrosome is present in animal cell, whereas it is absent in plant cell. The next one, let us talk about plastid. There are so many plastids present inside a plant cell. Plastids, but plastids are not present in animal cell. You got your seventh difference. Plastid is present in plant cell, whereas it is absent in animal cell. You can see here number of plastids. Plastid is present in plant cell, whereas it is absent in animal cell. So what is the work of plastid? Plastid helps in photosynthesis. Plastid helps in storage of food. So plastids are generally of three types. Plastids contains three pigments or three color pigments. What are that? Chloroplast, chromoplast and leucoplast. Already I have mentioned in the video. Chloroplast is a kind of plastid that is green in color, and chloroplast is present in the greenish portion of plants. What are the greenish portion of plants? In leaves and in young stems. Okay, so chloroplast, in the presence of sunlight, they helps the plant to synthesize food. Chloroplast contains chlorophyll pigment, and that chlorophyll pigment helps the plant to synthesize food. That is about chloroplast. What about chromoplast? Chromoplast is coloring pigment, means it is generally yellow in color, brown in color, or orange red in color. So chromoplast are the coloring pigment. Where it is present? It is present in the flowers, it is present in the ripened fruit and ripened vegetables. I have given one I have shown you in the video about tomato. Tomato, when it is just starting to grow, means when it is young, it contains chlorophyll, means it is greenish in structure. Gradually, the chlorophylls are converting into the chloroplast are converting into the chromoplast. That's why gradually when it is ripening, it turns yellow and then it turns into red. Okay, so if you will talk about apple, if you will talk about the colored flowers, that all colored parts of a plant contains chromoplast. Okay, chromoplast is the coloring pigment of plant. And what about leucoplast? Leucoplast is the colorless pigment. Okay, leucoplast is the colorless pigment. Suppose, let us take an example, onion. Okay, in the leaves of the onion, leucoplast is present, which is colorless pigment. Okay, And let us take an example, potato. In the whitish part of the potato, leucoplast is present, that is the colorless pigment. So what is the work of chromoplast and leucoplast? Chromoplast and leucoplast generally helps in storage. Okay, and what is the function of chloroplast? Chloroplast helps in photosynthesis. So what are the three plastids? Here I can write chloroplast, chromoplast and leucoplast. What is the color of chloroplast? Green. What is the color of chromoplast? Red, yellow or brown. What is the color of leucoplast? Colorless. Now I think you can write the difference between chloroplast, chromoplast and leucoplast also. In the short question I will ask, Dex is the green pigment. Dex is the green plastid. What you can write? Chloroplast. Dex is the colorful plastid. Chromoplast. Dex is the colorless plastid. Leucoplast. So plastid can be of three types: chloroplast, chromoplast and leucoplast. But plastid is absent in animal cell. And the last one organelle we had left, I think, that is the ribosome. Okay, you can see here ribosome is present with endoplasmic reticulum. Along with that, it is also scattered all over the cytoplasm. Okay, ribosome may be freely present in the cytoplasm or it may be attached to the endoplasmic reticulum. So what is the work of ribosome? Ribosome. Ribosome is present both in plant cell and in animal cell. Ribosome generally helps in protein synthesis. Ribosome, when it gets attached with the endoplasmic reticulum, it undergoes protein synthesis. It is a very long process. In your higher class, like in 10th, 11th, 12th, you will read about the protein synthesis. Okay, these ribosomes, they will get attached with the endoplasmic reticulum and they will synthesize protein. So this is all about the cell organelle. And here, how many differences we got? We got 7 differences. Number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. I hope you all have written all the differences. I will ask you the difference later on. So this is all about the plant cell and animal cell. The three main constituents of plant and animal cell are cell membrane or plasma membrane, cytoplasm and nucleus. Cytoplasm contains small tiny structures, we call it as cell organelles, and all the cell organelles we have discussed. All the cell organelles of plant cell as well as animal cell. Just again go through the video. Again try to draw the diagram of plant cell and animal cell by your own. Then only you can get clear about the topic. This is my one request to you all. Please draw the plant cell and animal cell by your own and try to level it by your own. At first you will find little bit hard. Then gradually you will be acquainted with the topic. This is a very important topic I am saying. This topic you will get gradually in your higher class also. So draw the plant cell and animal cell by your own and try to level the diagram also. And when you will level it, then you can find the difference very easily. Means what all are the things present in plant cell and what all are the things which is not present in plant cell. What all are the things present in animal cell. What all are the things which are not present in animal cell. Okay, so this is all about the difference between the plant cell and animal cell. So today we have completed the topic. We have completed the chapter, that is the cell chapter, and later on we will talk about the next part in our next chapter. Till then, keep on reading. Do not forget to do your homeworks. Okay, go on learning. So till then, take care.